I've got the book here, Al-Milalu wa Nihal. This is by Al-Imam al-Shahrastani. Now he mentions about the different groups and the different sects, etc. You could go into it. As you can see on screen, we've got As-Sifatiyya. Now in my book, it's page 59, is a Babu Thalith. It doesn't say that on the PDF, but it says it obviously in my book. And this is page 69 on the PDF. So he mentions, no, that the majority of the group from the Salaf used to affirm that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sifat azliya, meaning his eternal sifat, his eternal attributes, like knowledge, like ability, life, will, listening, seeing, speak, or speech, obviously being gracious, giving, honor, or majestic. And look what he mentions, لا يفرقون بين الصفات الذات. They never used to, meaning the Salaf, the majority of the group of the Salaf, they never used to make a distinction or difference between the sifat of his essence or the sifat of his fi'l, the sifat of his what? Actions. And then he mentions, but they used to go and make to lead into this by making it one. So sifat al-dhat, sifat al-fi'l. Then he mentions, وَكَذَلِكَ, and likewise they used to affirm the sifat al-khabriya. Now the sifat al-khabriya is that those attributes that provide information about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's self, about himself. And what are those? For example, al-yadayn, Allah's two hands. His face. So look, he mentions, Shahrastani mentions Allah's two hands. And he's Ash'ari. Allah's face. And they never used to give it an interpretation, except they used to say, these are the sifat that are mentioned in the Shar', and we call them sifat khabriya. These are about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's khabar, about himself, information about himself. So obviously like his two hands, his face, and etc. Then he mentions, but the Mu'tazila used to deny the sifat and the Salaf used to affirm them. And then the Salaf were called Sifatiyya. They used to call the people of Sifat, because you have to remember the context why the Salaf wrote these books and were making refutations. What was the need? Because the deviant groups came out, the Mu'tazila, the Mu'attila. And look what Imam al-Shahrastani said with the arrows over. He said that some of the Salaf went above, or went into extremes in affirming the Sifat to the point that they reached the limit of tashbih, and they mentioned about sifat which are newly invented. Okay? And it carries on. So here you go. We got Al-Milal wa Nihal. Okay, so two Ash'ari scholars, Imam Al-Qurtubi and Imam Al-Shahrastani. So Imam Al-Shahrastani confirmed that the early Salaf, the majority of the early Salaf, right, used to affirm Allah's sifat al-azliya, like his knowledge, his honor, his listening, his hearing, etc., etc. Obviously his giving and his power, etc. But they never used to make a distinction between the sifat al-dhat and his sifat al-fi'l, of his actions. But they used to basically connect it as one. They used to affirm it as one. And also he mentions, likewise they used to affirm the sifat al-khabriya, like his two hands. They used to affirm it, meaning they used to affirm that Allah has two hands. Okay, they never used to make a distinction. So whatever they affirm for Allah azliya, his eternal attributes, and khabariya, they also affirmed his sifat of that and his sifat al khabriya. And then he mentions obviously the khabriya is his two hands. In the PDF he says rijlain, but it doesn't say that in my book. So just to get that out there, okay. So my book here, I've just noticed that I was reading from the book rather than the PDF, and mine one doesn't say two legs. My one just says yadayn wal wajh, and in the PDF it says, as you can see on screen, it says mithlul yadayn wal rijlayn wal wajh, and wajh is in brackets, and they used to interpret it, but they used to call it sifat al khabriya. So as two legs, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm sure I understand. He might probably made a mistake there. Imam Al-Qurtubi mentioned that the Salaf never used to deny a direction for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we hear, some say today, direction. They never used to deny a direction. No, they used to speak about that. That was something that came later. And Imam Al-Qurtubi says this, the mutakallimin talk about hayyiz, wa jiha, wa makan, etc. But the Salaf never used to speak about that. And they affirmed, and they took it literally. Okay, this is Imam Qurtubi, and Imam Shahrastani also confirms as well. Now, the affirmation here isn't just affirmation that you believe in the words, okay? Because like Imam Al-Qurtubi mentions, none of the Salaf denied that Allah is above the throne haqiqatan, literally. And they never denied it. No, nor did they deny jihad. They never denied jihad. Okay, nor did they used to speak about jihad. They never used to speak about it. And this is Imam al-Qurtubi saying it clearly. I've got it here, obviously the book's over there. And they only used to say about the kayfiyah. This is exactly what the Athariya.
The Salafis must come out and demonstrate how it is mashhur. They must come out and prove its validity. They must prove with authentic chains the validity of this opinion, because it's talking about the unseen, it's talking about Allah.
The sitting of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam on the Day of Judgment. Do you know that this was also a view from the Hanabila, by the way, but Shaykh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani rahmatullah affirms it. Okay, here you go. So we've got the book first, so let me present the book. Okay, and we've got the statement here. Okay. So as you can see on screen, we've got the chapter of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will sit his prophet, the chosen prophet, and all of it with him on his arch on the Day of Judgment. And he presents a hadith from Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam under the verse that perhaps your Lord will send you on a praise platform, and he mentions that he will sit him on the arch. Okay, then he mentions another riwayah. Okay, this is obviously narrated from Aisha allegedly, and that she asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the maqam al-mahmud, and then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will sit me, okay, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my Rabb, upon the arsh. And where he's got number 2 is mawdu' according to the footnotes. And then he mentions another narration that Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu and Abdullah ibn Salam radiallahu anhu قال إذا كان يوم القيامة, that when يوم القيامة comes, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will come and he will sit with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on his kursi, and it was said, Ya Abu Mas'ud, and it said, oh Abu Mas'ud, and if he is with him on his arsh, is that not meaning that he is with him? And then Abdullah ibn Salam said, or destroy be to you. This is affirmed in the hadith, etc. Presents another riwayah, وقال الحجاج في حديثه, that Hajjaj in his hadith mentions that when Yawm al-Qiyamah comes, the Jabbar will descend subhanahu wa ta'ala with his arsh, and his feet will be upon the kursi. Okay, his feet will be upon the kursi. Then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will come and will sit with him on the kursi. And then it is said to Humaydi, if he is upon the arsh, then he is with him. And he says, that's right, woe to be you, he is with him. Okay, and this is obviously written by Shaykh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani, and there's the manuscript for it as well. Okay, so here you go. So just to show you that it's not, me quoting things out of context. As I presented from numerous sources, from manuscripts, from classical scholars who quoted passages from the book Al-Ghunya, which is exactly what we have today, which is in conjunction with the manuscripts as per radiocarbon dating going back so far. Okay, 2 manuscripts in fact, and Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali affirms word for word, Imam al-Dahabi confirms word for word,